quick update on some accounts. So last week, just exploring some things. Three things: a red alert update, what I've been doing, a one trade approach on Banker, which is getting great momentum in the chats, my optimization file that we shared, and what's what based on that, which I'm going to get to in a minute. And a hybrid where I've set the direction and just let it bank a load of trades approach too. So first things first, last week on Redalert, my optimization is quite small. It's 1300 combos. I'm basically looking to take small targets out of the market where the volatility is biggest after the news event, not on the news event, maybe 10 minutes after news and catching the move after. There's normally momentum in the market, enables us to get in, bank a little bit, and get back out. Now, the news I looked at last week was unemployment, just because of the time, really. I didn't get to this until midweek. So, from memory, I traded unemployment claims, the CPI on DAX, and then PCE. Next week, I'm going to look at ISM. There's quite a bit. Jolts, quite a bit next week, really. Unemployment rate again, too. So, here's the account. 8.9% with hardly any drawdown, and that is pretty accurate. I maybe had 500 US dollars at one point. But this just proves how effective Red Alert can be to manage exposure because you're hardly ever in the market. This was 3 trades, I think. I've got an EU open. Yeah, 3 trades. The net profits are shown here. Sometimes it gives you the trade accuracy here, actually, but not quite sure. Oh, here we go. Entry and exit accuracy. It might show us. Bear with me. Oh, duration is helpful. Will that refresh? No. Okay, so duration 1 minute. 1 hour 14 on the DAX one on the Thursday morning. It got close to TP a couple of times and then retraced back, and then 3 minutes on the NAS trade there too. So you're in, you're out very, very quickly. And the optimization files provided to members, but all I've actually optimized in here is the limit trailing stop entry. So it follows the price, waits for it to reverse, and then catches the entry. So that's positive, right? And I've not been very good at keeping sort of data on Red Alert, public data like this as such. So I'm gonna work harder on Red Alert to do this because although the optimizations are quick, you've just got to plan your week a little bit more. Which with Banker, my accounts run, and it's sort of I have to not really do a lot. But with Red Alert, run a few optimizations, choose your news events for the week. Might take you half an hour, 45 minutes. So it's not very time consuming anyway. So yeah, that's the Red Alert thing. Now onto one trade Banker. So I shared a one trade strategy and approach in the Discord. And a few members as well have been smashing one trade stuff. So pinned is my optimization file. Now, what I've been looking at on this is using stop loss, using take profit, entering one trade, and also, let me find the right one. Come back to that one shortly. Here we go. Using custom sessions and, yeah, risking 1% per trade on each individual trade. Now, invariably, what you've got to understand with this sort of approach is the spectrum of probability, wins and losses, losing runs, consecutive losses, win rate, because invariably you're going to get consecutive losses. And the clues to that are in your backtesting data. If you've got a 70% win rate and consecutive losses of 3 or 4, you're going to see that at some point. You might even see a little bit longer. Now, in order to validate if this still, if this has got longevity in terms of live performance, you've got to run your data for a period of time. You can't just judge something after a day or a week. If I turn this on the 30th and hit the first 3 losses here, a lot of traders would just quit and go, oh no, this isn't very good. But you've got to build the data. You can't just judge something on a very small data sample. Um, so yeah, here's the performance for the week. I don't know how many trades that is, but you can see here that we're winning more than we're losing. You can see the risk is set to 1%, so we're losing 1,000. This is a bit higher than 1,000 because it's naturally compounding too. And you can see the results that we've got across these pairs. So we're trading US 30, S&P, and DAX within these results. Yes, lot sizes look big because they're contract sizes on indices, but remember that it's governed by, and they're all different, and that's because we're set 1% risk and we're using a dynamic ATR based stop loss. So the stop loss is going to change in relation to the market volatility, which means the risk we want is the same. The stop loss in pips and points will change, which means our risk will change on different trades invariably because of that process. So we'll see how this continues to go. This did peak at 14% last week. It did peak at that. That account is here. 12896 recording on here, but it did peak at 14% with equity. Trade times, a few hours, 14 minutes, 20 minutes, the longest and shortest trade times. Let's have a look. Shortest was 10 minutes when they've hit a loss. This one was 11 hours, which was quite long, but yeah, 4 to 5 hours. So usually in and out the same day, which is quite nice too. Now you could also use the EA to set the max daily loss to 4,000, or take profit closes within it too, and that stops you getting caught by consecutive losses, which we didn't last week anyway. But if I'd have just turned on here and taken these three, then if you were trading prop accounts, that could be an issue. So you would have to make sure you've got a fail-safe in there to manage your equity daily, which is fine too. So yeah, that's that account. Onto the hybrid direction setting one. So this isn't something I've done consistently, right? Because normally I don't look at stuff manually or trying to predict direction. But what I was looking at was if there was a way that I could steer the direction of the EA to increase my probability of being right, bank more, have lower drawdown. So I'm going to try and keep this account running, but invariably what happened last week was I had a 9.5% gain trading fixed lots, no martingale, and trying to basically catch this swing round on the dollar. That the dollar's been dropping hard, and we were in this daily 70-30 RSI zone, and that lined up as well with GU been in it, EU been in it, NU been in it, well almost. USD CAD been in it, USD CHF has been in it, but then had a bit of came up, came back down, back in the zone. But hey, you can still go lower before you come back up. But hey, are we at that extreme of elasticity to see at least a pullback or maybe a reversal to some point? So I set the EA up in the direction of sells on XXX USD to go down, and USD, look at my lovely writing, to go up. And that's pretty much what happened. We caught 2,000 odd pips and 9% trading just 0.5 fixed lot in 5 days, which is quite effective. Now, I could have got that wrong. It could have continued against me. But again, we're playing probability. Was it more likely to go that way when all of those pairs were in that extreme zone over the course of the week? So I'm just going to keep this running, catch this move for a bit longer, and then see if we can drive the direction in the right way too. Again, once that was set all week, I left it, didn't do a thing, but could have been highly effective if you're in a challenge, if you're hedging it against live capital. Yeah, whichever way you do it, it's still another tool and another awareness to have in your toolbox that goes, hey, our EA is a tool. I've demonstrated that we can use one trade approaches, banker in various ways. If you've got a little bit of an awareness or thought around where a move might go, then you can use it to steer it too. Now, the logic here is, let's say we've got price, and you think that there's going to be a nice swing move the right way. Now, what a lot of people would do is have a obviously entry, stop loss, take profit, and wait for it to hit target. Now, my approach with using the EA to do it, I believe it's more effective because I've got really less risk anyway because I'm trading 0.5 fixed lot. But I want to catch every single move back up with numerous entries to then catch that. And I'm straight back in the market. I'm catching the retrace again and I'm straight back in. So I'm basically, instead of just having one trade, entry to TP, I'm catching all of these smaller retraces to bank in relation to this trade because the EA is entering after every 7 to 10 pips back against me to then go again. My camera's gone for some reason. But yeah, so that's what it was doing. Now, if you look at custom analysis and say, let's just look at EU, who had a bit of a drop last week, then EU in itself, I caught 323 pips. Now, EU didn't drop 300 odd pips, but that's what I was able to catch due to how these entries did exactly what I'm just saying right there. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully that helps the run through that I've gone through. And yeah, if you can take anything from this and learn 2 or 3 things that might help you in your trading, then mission accomplished.